This week is very simple. You need to get as many players that are decent on the park as you can for your head-to-head grand final or for what is second last week of overall ranking pushes. And that is made a little bit difficult by one or two things. This list. This list right here where the Penrith Panthers 2 is playing this week. The Penrith Panthers are on a bye, and the Penrith Panthers 2 are playing. Unfortunately, the Penrith Panthers 2 don't have Nathan Cleary, Isaiah Yeo, Dylan Edwards, any of those guys because the reserve graders are here. And it's not just the Panthers. It is also Storm are doing it a little bit as well. Not a full team. Harry Grant is suspended, but when you're resting Coates, Meaney, and Katoa, it means that you're probably going to rest the other half next week. So I would expect probably like a Tuika Manu, Trent Liero, very likely Cameron Munson, maybe Ryan Pappenhausen to get a rest. Maybe some of these guys as well. So watch out if you own Storm guys that don't rest this week. Potentially Raiders and Bulldogs even. But yeah, Panthers this week are the real risk. And the reason I say, where's the ladder? Did I have the ladder up? I don't have the ladder up. Shame on me. Ladder. So ladder is important because top two are now 4 points clear of third and fourth with a massive points differential. So I think it's very comfortable for the Storm and the Raiders to start resting. If you have Hudson Young, Jamal Fogarty, Zach Hosking, Tarpanay, Horsburgh, there's a decent chance at least a few of them are going to be missing next week. So if you're somebody who owns you like a Cameron Munster and a Fogarty, it's probably worth buying a Nico Hines this week. If you're somebody who has a Hudson Young and an Eli Katoa and you don't have like some of these others, and maybe you have like a Preston as well, you might start to want to think about getting one of these guys. If you got zero trades and you're just here for the fantasy, sure. All the discussion's great. We'll get to captain strategies and how to play what the best you possibly can is shortly. But for now, assuming that you've got at least one trade up your sleeve, watch out for these teams. I would not be going out and buying Matt Burton this week because there's no Cleary, because Matt Burton might be missing next week. If you don't have Jamal Fogarty by now, don't get him. I think there's a huge risk that he is not there next week. What about the Roosters? Well, the Roosters are going to be fighting for the 8s. They play the Storm this week and they play the Rabbitohs next week, but they have that Brandon Smith interesting allegations coming out. I hope that doesn't disrupt them too much because I would like to see Tedesco in fantasy Supercoach finals. Jamie's running some of that in the private group, I know, as finals prizes and things, which is cool. But yeah, if you haven't seen it already and you still want some more fantasy to come out of this year because there's no mixer, unfortunately, there's no NRL mixer. Supercoach is having finals fantasy, so get on board that. Seagulls, though. Dragons this week, and who have they got next week? I had this up for a reason. They play the Warriors next week. Warriors probably are the least likely of these teams to rest because, well, they've got 3 teams potentially still in reach of them, and the 2 closest to them have very winnable games this week. So the Warriors need to win at least one to get into finals, probably both. Well, if they win both, they're guaranteed in. But with the Broncos and the Sharks and the Panthers having better differential, I don't think they're a resting risk. Broncos and Sharks as well, not a resting risk. They will want to be getting that top 4 spot and a double chance. That's the situation here. The desperate teams are the Seagulls and perhaps the Dolphins. If Herbie Farnworth is back next week and you have a trade, you get Herbie Farnworth in next week. I don't care. Who are they playing next week? Who are the Dolphins playing in round 27? Right. Oh, imagine if the Raiders are resting and you get Herbie Farnworth back. He could score 90. That would be awesome. So, yeah, just a few things to take into consideration. Consider your team balance, consider how it works for the structure, because at this stage, where is it? This entire list of people are either out this week or potentially high risk for being out next week. Like these injured guys, you trade them out first. Obviously, you get rid of Adam Dewey, you get rid of Harry Grant, that are definitely going to miss these two. But maybe you don't sell a kick out this week if you have a lot of these guys because he might be back next week. Yeah, the dogs may be resting, but if he's had a rest I don't say rest, it's a skin infection. But if he hasn't bashed his body up playing footy this week, he could be a valuable number next week. So count your Raiders and your Storm that are available for you. I think Katoa, and Meany are probably going to be back next week, but that's fine. Not super guaranteed, but we'll see. Last week for me, not too bad. I didn't hit any really big scores, but I didn't really hit that many low scores, which was good and managed to get me back a few hundred ranks. Hopefully, I can do a bit better than last year. It's really funny because this year's the opposite of last year. Started okay, got to a decent rank. I think I got 1200th. Where'd I go? Yeah, okay. So I got up to 1200th and I've just been very slowly sliding up and down, mostly down the ranks since then. Yeah, hopefully I can finish better than the 3000 and I think it was about 3050th or something. So hopefully with these last two trades I can get somewhere. But yeah, for me, I've gone Yo out over Cleary or Katoa because I just straight up think that if he's got that dud shoulder that he may need to get off-season surgery on, or he's just managing it, yeah, he'll have a rest this week, but is he guaranteed to play 8 next week? I do not think so. I don't think so. So, yeah, he's fine as a trade-out for me. I'm going to go Iro or Hines, and I may end up actually switching to Hines because Fogarty and Munster may both be out next week. And imagine how cooked it would be if Galvin was out as well, rested for the Bulldogs, and for some reason Cleary wasn't there. Like I think Cleary will be there. It's like they want the combinations to be going, but I mean that'd force me to play Campbell up there, and then I'd only really have like Nile and Teddy because Drinkwater's gone. Like there's a lot of players that are relevant that are not going to be able to be scoring in round 27. So be on the lookout for that for sure. So I don't think it matters too much whether I get Hines or Iro because of my duels at this stage. In worst case scenario, what would happen? Kraz out, Drinkwater out. My backline's probably a little bit better than my halves, hey, if everything goes wrong. Because I've got a little bit of backup there. Halves wise, I've got 4 halves though. Is it really that much of a terrible thing? I don't know. Maybe Kraz, Drinkwater, Campbell up to there. Yeah, maybe I should get a backline player because if Campbell's needed up here with these triple problem, I'll be missing 2 backline guys anyway, potentially. So I should probably both. Look, I just have to figure out who's going to score more, Iro or Hines. It's probably going to be Hines, but who knows? Who knows? We will have to see. I think it just makes more sense to get Hines though, doesn't it? I don't know. Turbo's also pretty good buy this week. Desperate to get in the top 8. A lot of players actually have him. I think he's actually like 70% of the top 5,000 or something have him by now, which is crazy to me because a lot of the groups I've been hanging out in kind of glossed over him. Not that many actually went for it, which is a bit of a shame because he's been very good. Yeah, look at that. Very highly owned. He got down to 400k, and has been, well, on and off. Okay. I suppose last week was the first really good one since those pair of 60s at the end of Origin, but that's all you need sometimes. That's all you need. A couple of weak teams and some desperation. Um, that's about it, though, from fantasy. I think Hines is probably the best captain if you need to make up ranks and you can't win your head to head. You think your opponent is stronger than you. Like if you've got 16 or 17 players, but one or two of them are really dodgy, like Kane Bradley, Talon De Silva type dodgy, Nico Hines probably will have a chance to make up some ground. But overall, with no Cleary, Payne is obviously the best captaincy choice this week. Terrell May's come back a little bit. He's still good, but not quite that top level. Not quite. Still very good though. If you're really keen, you could, but I mean, I don't think you can get that much of a difference, and it could be you lose 10 versus you gain 5. With Hines, you might bomb 30 points versus Haas, but he may also score 100 versus the Knights. So there's that to consider. Anything else? I don't think there's so much. If you're going to target somebody in round 27, I think it's going to be Trell or Farnworth, and that's all there is to it. Like, if you're crazy, you can't do that. Only in Supercoach could you go Alex Johnston trying to get a hat trick for that, because Alex Johnston can score 5 tries and still only get 78. Speaking of that, let's look at Supercoach. It's not been a great last 2 weeks for me because I've been with the Edwards Tedesco Drinky combo and captained the wrong guy last week and then didn't have Walsh or Turbo this past week had just gone. So thankfully I did captain Drinkwater, so it wasn't as bad as captaining Tedesco, but I did slide. I'm now out of the top 100 and that was very quick smart. So I probably need to make about 100 points to get confidently back in. And yeah, no Edwards, no Talangi, no Cleary, no Yo is pretty terrifying, even though I had really good depth not that long ago. McInnes is now gone. Garrick is now gone. Yeah, it's a little bit shaky times. Most of them should be back, though, I would imagine. So I think around 27, I will be chilling pretty well and have enough decent players even with the restings. Who would I have resting potentially? Young, um, Young, Carraz, Drinkwater on the bye, Munster. That's actually not too bad. The main worry is just this situation. Hey, what if Katoa's not back? What if Yo's not back? And what if Young's on the bye? Then I'm cooked and I have to play Watson. Um, and I might even have a hole there. So a little bit scary there. I don't want to play Watson this week, but I really don't want to buy a second rower that might score a pair of 65s versus buying Iro versus Knights for a 110 and then a 50. Like, that's fine. That's way better than a pair of boring 65s. And like Watson quite possibly drops out in flex anyway, unless something goes wrong. If I do get a really dodgy low one, in these first couple of matches, like if Lomax goes off with a HIA and gets 2, but then I'd want to sell Lomax, wouldn't I? Instead of Connor Watson. But then I'd have Karapani. Look, yeah, I don't think I'll want to play Talangi again. I don't think I want to play Talangi in round 27 anyway. Who's he playing in round 27? Dragons, that's still not great. Like, Talangi needs everything to go right for him to do insane because Cleary is Cleary. But yeah, I think that's about it. The captaincy options, like, you gotta have something on Nico Hines versus the Knights, right? Surely, surely you've got to. I think that can pivot against it with like a Karaz into a Turbo or a Karaz into a Walsh. but like it's scary not having something on that. You could go Hines VC into a Campbell C, but I don't think that's very easy unless you got a free loop because you're missing a few players this week. So just watch for who you can still potentially move around and shove the captaincy on. Like, let's see, Jaden Campbell will be locked with whoever's there. Who's in these last couple of games? So it's literally just that seems too hard to loop, really. So I think Nico Hines C makes the most sense. VC on Turbo, Walsh, or Karaz, in my opinion. And that's about it. Let's see what the high rankers are considering this week. It's blown up. It does that weirdly sometimes for the top 1%. I'm not exactly sure why. But yeah, a lot of Reece Walsh and Turbo love, obviously, with Edwards being out. Edwards is pretty heavily traded out. I do feel for the people who traded in Adam Dewey, only for him to suddenly disappear very, very quickly. So yeah, Blake Brayley as well, because Harry Grant is gone and Connor Watson is blah. Nico Hines in as well. A lot of people own him already, but the few who now don't will be quaking in their boots at that matchup. Cal, I also really, really like as well. Yeah, it's his first match back, but versus the Knights, you don't have many more opportunities juicier than that. How good's Taylor Maybin though on return? He's averaging very, very well. I think he's playing. Who's he playing this week? I think he plays Raiders last week of the year. Let's have a look. Raiders last week of the year. No, he plays them this week. Okay, so no, that's pretty tough. And then round 20. Oh, that's nice. That's nice, Titans. But like, you won't buy him for Raiders this week, surely. Surely not. All right, that's about it, guys. Trying to make this short because my second attempt doing it because I did not have my mic put up to OBS properly for some reason. It defaulted it to it differently. Shout out to a couple of the podcasters. I was relatively close, about 100 points off them 2 or 3 weeks ago, and they've surged the last few, and I've not done so well. So to Matt from Ballers and Myth in 6th, really well done. Friend of the Ballers show as well, Finn. Shout out to Nick Frost from the Wallabies, the Australian Wallabies team too. Can you win footy prizes if you're a footy player? I mean, it's a different code, so surely you can. How good is this though? I think it's a little bit hard for him to make up 230 points in 2 rounds, but I mean, there's 230 points right there. It's possible. It's possible. Anyway, good luck to all of these players. We've got 2 weeks to go. I'm still holding on to third in the Podcasters League, but I'm not catching first and second now. Far out, they've done well. Jamie, where's Jamie gone? I think he didn't have the greatest week last week, but yeah, I mean, still not the worst. That's been a decent climb considering he was about 8K about 2.5 months ago. That's not too bad. Not too bad at all. Good luck everyone this week. Fantasy, Supercoach, whatever. And actually, shout out to David Papadogs. I think he's got me. He came from the pack and he just ground his way up. I think he's too far for me to catch now. So, well done. 200 points. I still might be able to get there if you don't have many trades, mate. But you might be in for some prizes. So well done there. Really well done, everybody, for making it this far in the video, if you're still here, and for making it this far this year in Fantasy and Supercoach. Just a couple more vids to go, and we've got off-season, and then we've got Big Bash and other stuff happening. I don't know if I'm making videos on that with Jamie at all, but I'll probably be playing along as well. So until next time, everyone, I'll see you around 27.